After more than 3 decades of talking about it, the city of San Diego is finally doing something about De Anza Cove on Mission Bay. At this point, almost everything is still up in the air, but one issue has apparently been settled early.
And basically agreed that we want to make sure that they are essentially made whole, that those recreation areas that those organizations rely upon, like the tennis courts and the ball fields and the racket areas further up the creek from here, that they're going to be in a secure spot before restoration occurs along the banks of Rose Creek.
Rose Creek is a tributary that runs from the hills in the east to Mission Bay in the west, and as you might imagine, this can be some nasty water.
A lot of the reason that you have such poor water quality in Mission Bay right now is because there is no filtration for this water coming down from I-5 and going beneath Grand and Garnett and going through all the PB areas and picking up a lot of these toxins along the way.
But in order to restore the marshland and begin cleaning up Rose Creek, an agreement had to be reached between the environment and recreation. And guess what? It worked.
We want to make sure that those recreation outlets who use these areas in Mission Bay, that their spaces remain whole and that they get better potentially, or at least what they have now, when those buffer zones, should they go in, go in.
Tucked away on one side of Rose Creek, right now it is a recreation paradise. Baseball fields for the Little Leaguers. The Pacific Beach Tennis Club with tennis and pickleball is located here. All of this would have to be moved to a different spot to make way for marshland. But under the agreement, the baseball and tennis would be relocated before the marshland goes in.
We really need to make sure that we've got a Mission Bay Park that's accessible, that people can get to, where there's recreation opportunities available, and that people can get outside. As environmentalists, we want to get more people outside. We're all in favor of that.
With only so much land to go around and 3 different groups competing, it can get a little emotional. In this case, it has been a mutual agreement.
I think there's been a narrative growing that somehow we were in competition, or there was some consternation between some recreation interests and environmental interests.
While all of these changes are still years away, campers, environmentalists, and sports lovers are getting ready for the big changes. In this case, the location of the sports fields would change, and so would the water quality.
Once we have wetlands that are basically restored to where they might have been 100 years ago, we're going to wind up having cleaner water throughout the bay, and that's going to benefit everyone.
And if you've been following this issue at all on the redo of De Anza Cove, there are a lot of moving parts. It virtually is a puzzle, but this is one piece that apparently has been locked in. Yes, those sports fields will be moved to a different location, but they will be built before the other ones go away. And then when the other ones go away, a little marshland will move in. Certainly, this is the first actual agreement between the groups that are competing for land out here, and hopefully as we move forward to fall, where the City Council will vote, we'll have more agreements where we can get a clean environment, lots of sports activities, and yes, camping as well. It's moving forward, that is for sure, out here at De Anza Cove. We're in PB. Dan Plant, KUSI News.